Hi everyone, Janey here. Welcome back to my garden. It is a beautiful day. It is going to be 100 degrees today, so I only have a couple hours out here, but we do have a high in the 70s on our 10-day forecast. So hopefully we'll get into soup weather soon. I am really looking forward to it. So I don't have too many plans in the garden today. Well, I have plenty of things to do, but I had plans to plant some shrubs today and my shrub delivery got delayed. So I have a bunch of shrubs, including the yardline viburnums that I'm going to be planting right along my front fence. Those are sitting in a truck somewhere in between Michigan and California. So hopefully those guys are doing okay. I'm a little bit worried about them, but hopefully they'll be okay. So my plans kind of went a little haywire today, but that's all right because I want to take this opportunity to assess the garden, assess what I have going on, just so that as I'm going forward, I kind of know what to do. And I like to do this every once in a while. Usually I do it in my pajamas or my robe and walk around with coffee early in the morning, but I thought I would take you along with me today. And it's just a matter of taking a look at your garden and seeing what you like, what you don't like, what's working well, what needs some help, what are some things that you need to do. And this is a new property for us. Well, can I still say it's new? We've been here over a year. I think so. This is a relatively new property for us. So we have been in planting mode, like nonstop planting. And it's hard to kind of slow down and take a look at the progress that you've made. So I'm forcing myself to slow down today, just kind of taking a look at things, maybe doing a couple jobs, but really planning and seeing what's working and what's not. I did want to show you my fig tree. You'll probably notice this as I'm walking around, but here's what it looked like about a week ago. This poor thing had so much weight on it. All of the branches were bending over. It looked like it was about to crack off at the base. I felt so bad for it, and I was just getting really nervous, and it was bothering me. And it's because I didn't prune it last season because I was injured. I couldn't get up on a ladder, and it was just one of the last things I was thinking of. So we had our arborist here grinding out a stump in our backyard, and I asked them if they'd be willing to prune the fig tree. Well, first I asked them, when's the right time to prune a fig tree? And what they told me was the best times are before it wakes up in the spring, right? Before it starts pushing new growth, and before it loses its leaves in the fall/winter, which I didn't know. And what they told me is when a fig tree loses its leaves, it has to create like a new bud thing. And that, technical word, I know. And that costs the tree a lot of energy. So you don't want to prune a tree at that time, but pruning it right now before it's losing its leaves is perfectly fine. Again, the ideal time is in late winter before the tree starts to wake up. But this poor tree, I don't think it was going to handle it through a winter with all that wind and everything like that. So you can see they came in and they really, really pruned it. They did such a good job. They're such professionals. They make it look like it's so easy. And I'm sitting here staring at them going like, oh, wait, what? Wait, where's that cut? I'm overthinking it. I know I'm overthinking it, but I just wanted to show you. And this was something that I'm learning is that it's better to prune than not prune. Like you're not going to mess it up. It's better to prune it because by the time it gets to this time in the season, the trees are absolutely struggling. So it's something that I'm really glad I had done. And I'm really glad they could kind of walk me through it. Still don't feel comfortable with it, but I'm working on it. Another tree that needs massive pruning is this pomegranate tree. I want to prune it up into, it's more of a bush right now, and I want to prune it up into more of a tree form. And the arborist was talking me through it, and showing me this branch that's crossing right here. That's not going to be good. He wants me to take this whole branch back, and then anything else that looks like it has too much weight on it or is crossing another branch to go ahead and take it off. So I'm going to wait until this loses all its leaves, and then I'm going to go for it. I will be harvesting pomegranates today because I just noticed I had been waiting for them to ripen. I kept checking and I literally missed the boat. When you start seeing this, it's time. It's definitely time. And you're almost even a little too late, which I'm super frustrated about because I've been waiting to harvest these pomegranates. So I'm going to take all these pomegranates off. We will have pomegranates on our salad and pomegranates and risotto and all the yummy stuff with pomegranates because I have tons of them. And then once this tree loses all its leaves, like I said, I'll come in and I'll prune it, and I'm actually going to stake it as well because it's been bothering me. If you can see the pathway, it's been bothering me that there's just no room for this pathway right here. I have to prune back this orange tree and then really do something with this pomegranate tree. Look, there's even this branch here that is just coming over way too far into the other part of the garden. This is an area that I wanted to show you. This is my royal raspberry agastache, and I don't know what happened to this plant. I have no idea if it was gophers or if it was Monty running through it or something like that, but I just had big branches just kind of die on me. And I'm not super familiar with this. Maybe this is just part of the perennial nature of this plant, and you kind of just got to go through and you got to clean it up. But this is something that I definitely want to work on. I love this plant, like love this plant. I think it is such a fabulous perennial. I think it is so beautiful, but I also have to watch it and learn and figure out how to make it work. I had another one right here, and I thought I was letting it sit there and see if it would kind of come back, but it had completely died. So I pulled it up and look, all the roots are chewed off. Oh, darn gophers. So that is definitely something that is a good assessment in my garden. It's a good learning experience. I have gophers absolutely everywhere, and they are chewing on all of the roots of everything that I love, and I am going to have to go get gopher cages for sure because I don't want to deal with this anymore. Ugh, I had a feeling this agastache was suffering from gopher damage. So number one, I got to be better at pruning my trees, 100%. They look so much better when they're pruned, and by this time of year, I definitely see the effects of not pruning my trees. Number two, I have gophers, and they're probably not going away, and it's very frustrating. So I got to go to the store and I got to get a bunch of gopher cages, because especially for this area right over here in the orchard garden, because I'm tired of losing plants. I've lost so many plants to gophers this year. It's very, very frustrating. Number three, this looks so much better when we put gravel glue on it, right?
It's way better.
It's so much better. So Jason put one layer so far. He put one layer yesterday, and now you're on your second layer?
Yeah.
Gosh, it looks so much better.
I probably need to do one more after that.
Yeah. And how often do you have to keep reapplying this?
It's only supposed to be every 6 months or every year, depending on rain and how much traffic. And
I mean, we have...
That's the issue.
I feel like he's the issue.
He's the primary issue. He tears through here, and then,
Yeah.
But I only actually ended up doing one coat last time.
Oh, you did?
And so this time, I'm going to do the full 3 coats and see. Because I thought the one coat was pretty good, but it just didn't stand up to Monty's.
Is that the recommendation, is 3 coats?
I think it says 2 to 3.
Okay. So one wasn't enough anyway.
One wasn't enough anyway. I was, yeah. And last time, I was trying to be really careful about, blocking it with the cardboard and stuff like that, which turns out is not necessary because this stuff is clear on the pavers anyway. I thought it would make it look bad, but it really doesn't. So this is way quicker and easier to do this way.
And we can keep up with this.
I can keep up with it easier. Instead of making a big project, it's just a quick thing now.
So last time you had like a stencil almost.
Almost, yeah. I blocked off, so I only sprayed the gravel, and it was just a lot of work, and this is a lot easier and quicker.
Because you can't even really tell.
You can't.
I mean, you already did a layer on this yesterday, and you can't tell
I can't see.
Yeah, on the stones at all. So this looks good. I love this. Yeah. This is so pretty.
It's nice.
It looks so nice. You know what? I think I'm going to go prune the pomegranate tree right now because it's bugging me. It's bugging me that it went from not ripe to overly ripe in 2 days. 2 days. boy, that is a lot of pomegranates. That's a pretty big basket, and it is chock full, and I still have more over there. So I brought my wagon so I could put some in there. Did want to show you, let's see, I haven't gone through those yet, but these are all the ones that were overly ripe or rotted out. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of them that are just a bit over, and I'm going to go give them to the chickens. I was reading, you don't want to give bunnies, we have chickens and bunnies for those of you who don't know, you don't want to give bunnies the pomegranate seeds, but they really like the peels. So I think that once we peel them inside, I'll give the peels to the bunnies, but these are supposed to be like a superfood for chickens. So I think I'll go give this to the chickens right now and see if they like it. My chickens are extremely picky eaters, so we'll see if they like these. Hello, girls. What are you doing in there? What are you doing in there, you weirdos? Huh? Looking for bugs? Come on. Come here. Come on. Hi, Hazel. Hi, Maisie. What is it, huh? Come on, Princess Fluffy Butt. Come on. Can you stop staring at it and try it, please? Thank you. There you go. What do you think? What do you think, Hazel? Really? That's it? Excuse you? You don't even know if you like it or not. Here. There you go. I think the jury's still out. Okay, I left the chickens with the rest of that pomegranate. I took a little piece of the peel and just gave it to the bunnies, and Hermione was all over it, so that's promising. Let me show you what we've done. We have been amending the soil. We've been getting a lot of deliveries of compost, and we have gotten the long border all amended, which I'm really excited about. So one of the things we noticed this past season, planting in this long border right here, I call this whole garden bed right here along our driveway the long border, the soil is absolutely horrible. It's really, really, really bad. Over here in this area, it's okay. Like, it's just okay. It's not great. It's okay. But starting from about right at this purple hop seed over, it's really, really not good soil. It's super rocky. It's almost like there's concrete debris in it, which is not good at all. And nothing really thrived in this area, which has been super frustrating. We've also had some irrigation issues that we've had to address. Those seem to be taken care of now at this point. But I knew that I had to get more organic matter in this bed ASAP. I had to get organic matter in this bed, and I have to get it in this bed, which we should be getting the delivery tomorrow of more compost that I'm just going to kind of cover the center island. Over where the crepe myrtle trees are planted, over on that far side, we had already amended the soil with some compost, and it's doing so much better than this side closest to me. This side definitely needs a good 6 inches of compost. So we were already able to get that done over here. We rented a skid steer. I didn't record it because we were just trying to rush. We only had the skid steer for a couple hours, and we got most of it all laid out. We also got some in the backyard laid out as well. And this is it's a super easy way to do it because you just put the compost on top. It's the no-till method, but man, I think it just works so well. So I will just be planting directly into this compost. I'm not going to worry about letting it age or anything like that because it's been aging at the landscape supply place. You know what I mean? This is not compost that I made. This is compost that was already made. So I get that question a lot. Like, are you going to wait 6 months to plant in it? No, I think it's going to be totally fine. And then we put it right directly over the wood chips that we had here before. We had put wood chips on top of the current soil, and we just put it right on top of that because the wood chips are going to break down and create more organic matter, which is exactly what we want. So my plan for improving this garden bed soil, actually all the soil in my property, is just to continue layering like that. Adding compost, then adding wood chips, then adding compost, then adding wood chips, and letting it all incorporate in. And then hopefully that increased organic matter and increased activity will improve the soil. And I think it should work. I think we've already done that over there in the orchard garden, and it's working really great. So another assessment I've made in the garden is I might have overplanted in this area right here. I might have put a couple too many annuals in and overfilled this spot, especially with the Suncredible sunflowers, if you noticed. So it's just something that I feel like I learn this lesson every year. I overplanted. I planted too many. And I think that that's a good lesson to learn. You don't need as many annuals, especially the ones that grow really, really big. You don't need as many annuals as you think. When I first put these in here, I think I put like 9 of the Suncredible sunflowers in here. It looked so puny. It looked so tiny. They were in their 4-inch cans, and it looked like it was nothing. And so I was even worried that I didn't put enough in. But now you can see, I mean, it's completely smothered my Superbena down here. It's even coming over onto the plain blue salvia, which the plain blue salvia is taking over. And if you can believe it, I have a vertigo pennisetum, a monster grass back here. And this Suncredible sunflower is smothering the monster grass, that is quite a feat. So it's just a good reminder that, like, look at the size of the plants. I always have trouble with that because it's hard to imagine how big things are actually going to get. But it's good to look back this time of year and remind yourself, you don't need that many plants. You just don't. So I'm going to grab my gloves and my pruners and start cutting back, specifically the Suncredible sunflower and probably the blue salvia as well. It's such a bummer because it does look absolutely beautiful, but it is starting to get overgrown, and it might not grow back before the end of the season, but I do need to cut it back just so I can kind of have an idea of what this place looks like, because my plan was to start off with a whole bunch of annuals just so that I can get some flowers and see what I liked in this garden. But now I do want to be putting in perennials, and I do want to be putting in shrubs. So if my area is covered with annuals, I can't tell where to put those other things in. So time to cut it back. And my phone overheated again. My phone has been overheating like every single time.
It's hot.
It's hot.
It's hot. This should be the last week.
Last super hot week of the year.
Super hot week of the year.
Last super hot week of the year.
It should not get over 100 in October. September, yeah, but not October. Right?
Yeah, I don't know. It's hot. So another assessment in the garden. I have to find something else to film on because my phone keeps overheating. I need like an umbrella or something. Okay, let me show you how far we got. So you can see I cut back a lot of the Suncredible sunflowers. I just planted too many of them. Jason's been helping me break it down and get it in the green bin. Our compost is absolutely overflowing. But you can see that vertigo pennisetum, I think it's going to get a little bit more space now to grow a little bit bigger. I haven't gotten around to cutting back the plain the blue salvia, which I will. I think we're just a little too hot right now. But it's nice to kind of see it opened up a little bit so we can decide what we're going to put, what shrubs we're going to put, all that kind of stuff. I do have this obelisk or TP or tutor, whatever you want to call it. And I do have the Rise Up Emberaze Rose growing on it, which is very, very pretty. But I almost think I need something a little bit bigger, a little bit taller in this space right here. And I don't want to put another tree, but maybe something small, maybe like thin, like a cypress or like a dwarf cypress. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. But this is the kind of thing that I like doing. It's just kind of walking around and taking a look at the garden and trying to decide, okay, what's going to be a little bit better next year. For one example, here in this garden, I really like this garden bed. It's really pretty. I need some dark foliage. It definitely needs some dark foliage in this garden bed. It's all light foliage, and I didn't really think about that. And now that I see it all grown, I definitely need some dark foliage. So I'm going to be thinking about that here, not planting so many annuals, maybe getting a couple more shrubs in here, you know, just on and on and on, and just constantly improving on what we have going on in the garden. Oh, there's my coffee cup. I was wondering where I put that. I just got word from the delivery people for the shrubs. Shrubs are getting delivered tomorrow, which is good because the previous estimate was not until Friday, which is a couple days from now. So hopefully they'll be okay. So we're gonna finish cleaning up and then I'll go inside and peel a bunch of pomegranates. I hope you enjoyed this and I hope you all have a chance to get in your garden today.